Hi Scorpio, and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. This was supposed to go up a few days ago, so we're a couple of days late, but the energy is still there. We're doing this reading to have a look at what the recent full moon in Sagittarius has left your sign. Basically, the full moon is a powerful time to be able to gain clarity or to allow certain feelings and experiences to kind of come to a head. It can feel quite overwhelming and intense at times. It can also be incredibly meaningful. It's not always a bad thing. As the full moon wanes, which is the period that we're in now, it becomes ready. It tries to prepare us for the new cycle. So we're in a period where we're tying up loose ends and we're starting to create new ideas about the new cycle that the new moon is going to bring us. And it will be a new moon in Cancer. So different energies, very close to your water sign. But let's see, before we focus on the new beginnings, what did the full moon in Sagittarius leave behind for you? This reading is intended for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, or those that have strong Scorpio placements. Spirit, for my group, for my Scorpios, you're not a group. What did the full moon in Sagittarius leave them? My Scorpios, Spirit. Wow, you've got the moon. And the Hanged Man, lots of water. Cancer and Pisces so far. Temperance, the water. I'm hearing the water bearer, but I'm doing Aquarius next. So maybe an Aquarius is significant. Chariot, Cancer again. So much water though. Just to be clear, the Temperance card is Sagittarius, and now we have the Tower, which is Aries, but all of your cards are major arcana, except for the bottom deck. So let's look at the bottom deck now. We have the Two of Cups at the back of this deck. Now, the Two of Cups to me is definitely a card of needing to compromise and work with the people in your life in order to have a stronger partnership and in order to ultimately move forward. So this is a card of partnership. It's a card of trying to find balance, trying to find common ground, and trying to have understanding in order to move forward. So this type of energy is not something that you would give to everybody. It is something that you would do for a significant person in your life, or if it's necessary for you to be able to move forward. So compromise is seemingly the key theme in this reading. So the full moon in Sagittarius has left you with this strong sense of partnership in which it's important for you to be able to see eye to eye, for you to both equally, mutually move forward. And we can see that harmony is very important here. So the thing about Temperance is, in your case, it is talking about a relationship needing to be more harmonious and tempered and balanced. And if there have been ups and downs, you're in a more, I want to say, stable place where it doesn't feel like it's too much. It feels like there's some sort of balance happening here. But Temperance is first and foremost a card that reflects ourselves and our own desires and our own needs for harmony and balance. So Temperance doesn't try to control. It tries to create awareness of how much your energy fluctuates and what you can do to stabilize it in a way where you feel like you know why it's fluctuating. So essentially, for me, the Temperance card shows up when my energy fluctuates in a way where I'm not entirely sure why it changed. And it's encouraging us to be more aware. It could be something little, like you've missed a meal and so your energy is low and your reactions are extreme. It could be something significant, like you're surrounded by abrasive personalities and that's triggering your energy. Therefore, your reactions are extreme. And the extreme could be on one scale or the other, right? Like, as in, it's an extreme avoidance or it's an extreme escalation. So it is a card that is encouraging you to be more aware of how your energy fluctuates and how the energy within a relationship fluctuates. So there's more harmony, more balance, and more understanding of why there's this shift either way. Now, the full moon in Sagittarius could have created something that caused this relationship to fluctuate. Something could have happened around the full moon that really drew out this awareness of, okay, wow, so obviously that's what caused the fluctuation. But as the full moon wanes and as we come into the waxing crescent moon now, we're starting to see how there's still a lot to understand about this previous cycle. You still have some things to be able to understand from other people's perspectives. With the Hanged Man reversed, you're not seeing the full picture. You're only seeing things from your perspective. And this is not allowing you to fully empathize with another person that's involved or with other people. So I don't think this is a bad thing. If we get that card in a water sign, it usually means that you need to start prioritizing your own mental health, your own emotional capacity, and your own feelings. As a water sign, you're more likely to distract yourself from your own feelings by feeding more energy and attention into others. And this is not a healthy way of dealing with your own problems as well as your own emotional fluctuations. So what could have happened is, instead of you feeling like you had the chance to react extremely, you had to kind of temper yourself and let another loved one have these big emotions. And so the full moon in Sagittarius is encouraging you to process that, to give yourself time to feel however you need to feel, tired, upset, frustrated, angry, or even just in need of rest before the next new moon cycle. I do think that you have some things that you need to do before the next full moon. There are some big decisions before the next new moon, and there are also some big moments that are emotionally draining only because you have to be back into this temperance energy. So in between, you're being called to look after yourself, to have empathy for yourself, and to give yourself plenty of time to rest. You can't give much right now, so you need to be aware of that. Your empathy levels, it's not like you don't have empathy, but it's taking a lot of effort for you to be able to connect with others meaningfully. Like, you just can't, your emotional capacity is limited. And with the moon here, the full moon in Sagittarius has left you with veils and layers of feelings, fears, desires, dreams, ambitions, aspirations. And so you've been left with mess that feels like you have to figure out, well, what do I do with this? Am I going to make something out of these feelings, fears, desires, aspirations, etc.? Or am I just going to bury it and suppress it? So the moon is a very interesting anchor in the middle of your reading, because at the very least, this is about you letting your mind just go over things that have already happened and finding a way to have a level of peace about what happened in your heart, and then waiting to see if you feel called to act on anything that has already happened. But it is what feels like a really messy process where you've got to be careful that you're not just stewing on things and letting them become worse than what they are. Try not to assume the worst right now. I do think that the moon's energy distorts past events, and it can disconnect us from the present reality because we're still replaying things from the past in our heads. And you know, it's like a case of whispers where every time we revisit the past, we've changed it and it's not at all what it used to be. So just be careful about over processing information, even just from the recent past, because it's not going to actually resolve how you feel. It's supposed to eventually inspire you to act, which is why we have these two action cards at the end of your reading. I think it's really important, Scorpio, that before the new moon, you use your feelings, you use your time to rest and the time that you allocate towards processing what has happened to guide you towards having more confidence in the path moving forward. Because the Two of Cups is at the back of the deck, it seems like overall this is about partnerships. This is about compromise. This is about being able to see eye to eye with the right people in your life and creating opportunities that reflect the strengthening of certain relationships. There's a lot going on with just you, and I think you need more time to just do these things, to feel these things, so that you can eventually pop back up in a public space feeling more confident. It's really important with the Chariot that you feel like what happened in the last 2 weeks was a good thing overall. No matter how stressful it was, or how much the energy was unpredictable at times, or how much you gave to the point where you needed a lot of time to rest in between, or how you just didn't feel entirely certain of where it was heading to, the overall outcome is supposed to be about you feeling more confident in what you can do to helpfully influence the future direction, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm just sounding like I'm using a lot of big words, but what I see here is that the full moon in Sagittarius did leave you with some big feelings, some big energy, and there was this residual blowout of tension that you were able to resolve, but it left you with some deeper feelings and fears, so that by the time the new moon comes, you feel more motivated to act and to take advantage of opportunities that are in front of you. There's something very specific here that you're focusing on, and family could be a motivator here. Family with the Cancer energy over here, it could include children, or just trying to nurture a personal goal into fruition. But really, your actions should reflect you trying to really do something good for yourself, something that boosts your confidence, that helps you feel more successful, and that helps you feel like you're back in the driver's seat. You're the main character. Your life is happening with you and for you, not to you, and not just because other people are calling the shots. So the Tower card is an interesting way to summarize this energy. We start with this feeling of trying to gain peace and balance, and then feeling emotionally off balanced, and then feeling emotionally dysregulated by layers of experiences and moods, to having confidence and determination, and then the chaos of the Tower strikes. So I do want to clarify what the Tower is for you, because it's an interesting way to wrap this energy up. It feels like a sudden turn of events. And how does this reflect the full moon in Sagittarius too? What does this mean for the new moon in Cancer? Okay, too many cards. I'm just going to summarize. So, self-sabotage. Yeah, you guys got to be careful about self-sabotaging. You can't say you want something and then do the complete opposite. This is coming from a Capricorn. We are pros at doing that. So we have an 8, a 9, a chief, and a major arcana card. The devil card and the 9 of pipes reversed. Actually, this 8 of blades as well. A big self-sabotaging energy. Before the new moon, you're going to realize how you are significantly standing in your own way and creating blockages that directly cancel out the things that you want for yourself. Your heart and your mind, and well, actually, let's say that verbally you tell people this is what I want, and then physically you do the exact opposite. So it's like, if I was going to use like your career as an example, it's like saying, I really want that job, and then you don't follow up with the application. It's like saying, I really want to improve my relationship, and then you don't do anything to improve it. Like it's like a direct chain reaction of you standing in your own way and doing the opposite of what you want. So before the new moon, you have to start taking more accountability with the Chief of Pipes here for your energy. You can't control other people, and it is natural for you to feel out of control of your own thoughts at times, but you should always strive to be more aware of your energy and to be more aware of what you can do to influence the world around you through your mindset, through your attitude, through your habits, through your behavior. You've got to really lock in if this is something that you want. Otherwise, it's slipping right through your fingers, and it's coming to a head in a very catastrophic way. Once the tower comes crumbling down, we have to start from scratch again. So what is changing here is necessary. It has to reset in order for you to rebuild on stronger foundations. So I hope that makes sense. That's all the time that I have, and that's everything that I'm seeing for you. Sorry that all those cards were pushed out of the way. That is the additional tarot cards that I pulled for you. I'm going to end your reading there. Look after yourself. Focus on recharging. Don't get trapped in the past. Use it to propel you forward. Use how you feel to be more confident in what you need to focus on. Let the tower come crumbling down and focus on rebuilding with solid intentions. Really focus on rebuilding based off of believing that you can do it. Don't stand in your own way. You've got this, Scorpio. Until we meet again, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. If you did enjoy this video, consider subscribing and make sure you click on the little bell to be notified of when I post. I don't always post on this channel. It's my second channel, but I do enjoy doing these readings. So if I have the capacity, I love to be able to jump over here and tune into the zodiacs. You may have messages in other signs as well. Until we cross paths again, look after yourself. Bye.